Secretary, thank you so much for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. So to start on a sad note, Delilah Coleman is a beautiful little girl who has life-threatening injuries after a criminal illegal alien caused another accident. We've seen this happening in states across the country. Many of these illegal drivers have commercial driver's licenses that have been issued by the state of California. You have vowed to crack down on that. What's the update on California and Governor Newsom making sure that these people aren't driving and injuring or even worse, killing Americans on the roads?
So first off, thanks for having me on the show, Katie. Congratulations.
Thank you for being here.
On the show. It's a pleasure. So you listen, what you saw is under Joe Biden's administration, whether it was 10 or 15 million people came into the country, Joe Biden gave them work permits. And one of the easiest things for them to do was go to a crackpot commercial driver's license school and then go get a license and hit the roads. They're not skilled. They don't have the requisite training. And we've seen a number of accidents, number of crashes, number of deaths, a number of injuries happen because we have these unqualified people on the road. And so us at DOT, we've said, okay, there's specific rules you have to follow. You have to speak English proficiently, so you can talk to first responders or law enforcement should they pull you over. But also, when a state issues a commercial driver's license they're called a non-domiciled CDL, you can't issue it to an illegal, number one. Number two, you can't issue the license for a time frame beyond their work permit. Now, there's a lot of violations across the country. California was one of the worst. All the other states have decided to comply with us, work with us to drive safety on American roads, except California.
What is their excuse for that? I mean, it is a scandal that California has been issuing how many licenses? Thousands?
Yeah, 17,000, I think.
To illegal drivers. Yes. And the reports from the Department of Transportation on the aftermath of these crashes is that some of these drivers don't even know how to read signs, road signs. And they're on the road driving these very dangerous vehicles.
These are 18-wheelers, 80,000 pounds. They can be lethal weapons when you have someone who doesn't know how to drive them. And listen, I don't speak liberal. I don't know what Gavin Newsom is thinking or doing, but his first priority should be protecting his citizens in California. And he's just refused to do it. He's siding with the illegal immigrant or migrant as opposed to the California citizen. But it's not just California, because if you get a driver's license in California, a commercial driver's license, you're going to drive all over the country with that license. So he's actually endangering every single American on our roadways. We have 40,000 deaths a year on American roads. We want to make it safer. Gavin Newsom is making it more dangerous. And so what we're going to do is we pulled money from him. Almost $160 million in one tranche, $40 million in a different tranche. But if they don't come into compliance, we will eventually pull their ability to issue commercial driver's licenses to anybody in California. And again, I don't want to fight with Gavin.
Yeah.
I think this is not about me in a political war. This is about me driving safety and doing the right thing, and Gavin should do the same, but he refuses.
I want to move on to air traffic control in a minute, but you mentioned crackpot driving schools. So is there an effort by the department to also crack down on these driving schools where these drivers, there was a case out of Florida where he failed an English test on a commercial driver's license test in California, was still granted a license, and then ended up doing a U-turn in the middle of a freeway, killing, I believe it was 3 American citizens. So what about the schools that these people are going to?
So we've shut down 3,700 schools across the country. Now, they'll try to pop back up elsewhere, and we play whack-a-mole a little bit. But what you've seen with this department under President Trump, we are focused on making sure we have the best rules, protecting the American people. And the way the industry was compliant with our rules wasn't enforced. And so this is the first time we're going to focus on safety. We're going to focus on the men and women who get behind big rigs and do it right and support them and take the bad actors out.
Yeah, I think it's unbelievable and certainly needs a lot of cleanup, clearly. I mean, if you're taking that many off the road. When it comes to air traffic control, you're known for saying that we were operating our traffic control systems on floppy disks, almost like playing Nintendo. The average person watching that is like, I thought that we were in the year 2025, 26. How is it that we're still doing business this way? I know the Biden administration focused on things other than updating infrastructure. Where are you on updating the system, and how long do you think it's going to take?
So they focused on DEI, changing the names of, what we call, the DEI priorities. So what we've done is said, listen, we're going to identify all the problems in the system for the American people, which, by the way, is the whole system. It's safe, but it's really old. And so
it's safe, but it's really old.
It's right.
Okay.
Right.
So it is safe.
It is safe, and we have great staff in the FAA, in air traffic controllers, and we have the safest skies from around the world. But we're still using copper wires. We're still using floppy disks, really old equipment. So we think, the president thinks we should have the best state-of-the-art system in the world. So Congress gave me $12.5 billion. I'm just dealing with the infrastructure right now. We're buying new radios, new radar. We're on analog. We have to go to digital. So this is going to be done in 3 years.
Yeah.
But then that doesn't change the way people experience flying in America. We need a new software system. We're using a genre of like Windows 95, Windows XP maybe. We need a new system to bring more efficiency to the airspace. And so more people travel by air. We're going to have drones in the airspace. These eVTOLs, these Ubers in the air are going to be deployed as well. So it's going to get more complicated. We need a new software system, new technology to manage the space.
Are there private companies helping with that? Certain companies helping you be more advanced in a quicker fashion?
So the FAA is amazing at safety. They're not great at building. So we have brought in the private sector to partner with us to help us do the builds. We have one project manager that's helping us do the whole project. We awarded that contract about 6 weeks ago. We've already contracted with our providers for brand new radar. By the way, the newest radar we have is about 50 years old.
Well,
right?
the kids would say that's vintage, but in air traffic control, it's not necessarily a good thing to be vintage.
We don't want vintage.
It's cool, but not for air traffic control.
That's right. So, but you know what? We are moving at lightning speed, and again, we have to keep aircraft safe. We have to control the airspace, and all the while we have to switch it over. It's complicated, which is why no one has done it. And President Trump said we're going to tackle every complicated problem and not pass it off to the next administration. We're going to fix it, and I love that about him. He's a can-do president as opposed to others who've just passed it.
We've encouraged people to dress up for the airport, at least to get dressed for the airport. You also went to the airport to do some pull-ups with RFK Jr., Health and Human Services Secretary. There was a discussion about maybe gyms being put inside airports. Have you had any conversations with maybe private companies who are willing to invest in some kind of exercise programs at the airport? And will they include showers? Because I have questions about going to the gym at the airport.
Oh, Katie, hold on a second. You're going too far. So we've said, if we don't, I can't mandate you dress up, but let's just don't wear pajamas and slippers to the airport. And I think if you dress a little better, you behave a little better. And again, we're all, getting into a, pretty tight airline seats. The prices go down when we do that, but I want people to be well behaved, and I think a little better dressed would help with that. Yeah. I want the airport experience to be better, whether it's better food, maybe better play areas for kids,
family friendly,
better nursing areas for nursing mothers that are clean and accessible for nursing moms. But we want mini gyms. So if you want to walk through the airport and you have a little bit of time and you want to crank out a couple pull-ups or a couple push-ups, I don't want you to do the full workout, get sweaty, and then get on the plane, we need a shower.
It's hard enough to fly sometimes.
You want to burn a little energy. You want to have a little space for you to do that. Again, maybe a little more greenery in our airports. But if you go to other parts of the country or the world, they have beautiful airports, beautiful infrastructure.
Yes, they do.
There's no reason why America shouldn't have the same. And so we have a lot of resources to rebuild our airports, but also we want to make them family friendly and beautiful places that Americans want to go travel to.
Well, exercise creates endorphins, and if people have endorphins, it might be nicer at the airport. Let's get to China before we let you go. The Biden administration spent billions of dollars forcing electric vehicles and down everybody's throats, but they don't have much to show for it when it comes to actually building electric vehicles or batteries for the future. Are we behind on that? And what's the race with China look like when it comes to transportation?
Just first off, the last administration spent $5 billion to build charging stations. They built like 9 or 15 of them over the course of 3 years. I think the money should go back. We shouldn't build charging stations. But if they're going to make me build charging stations, I'm going to build charging stations. We'll build them all across the country so you get the value of your dollar. China has been a hard competitor in the auto space. That's because the government is actually funding the research and innovation in autos. But I think that as we look at EVs, they had a backdoor mandate to have an EV mandate from the Biden administration using CAFE or fuel efficiency standards. they had it up at 60 miles a gallon. Well, but no, there's no combustion engine that gets 60 miles a gallon, so you had to buy an EV. Well, Americans don't want EVs. Markets should decide what you buy, and they want a combustion engine. Now, 8 or 10% of the people want an EV. That's great, they can buy one, but we shouldn't force that upon the American people. And so we've given the freedom of the manufacturers to make vehicles that you want to buy, that work for you and your family and your kids. And so I think that's going to be remarkable. But again, China, EVs, not great. America, gas, produced in America, refined in America, I think that's the future.
Well, it just seems like you're not punishing people, whether they are driving their kids to school or driving a tractor, for using a combustible engine, which is really what drives the economy of this country.
Well, I think they tried that in the old Soviet Union, trying to dictate, the centralized philosophy of production and manufacturing. It didn't work.
Yeah.
So we believe in markets and innovation that comes from the private sector, and we're getting back to that, which I think the president cares about the price of a car. All the things we're doing is going to help bring down the price of a car.
Yeah, cars are very expensive.
They are. And so this is critical. I'm working with Lee Zeldin, working with Jameson Greer on trade, and us all together are thinking through how we give more flexibility to automakers to produce cars you want, but also at a better price. All
right. Well, you got a lot on your plate over at the Department of Transportation. Thank you for coming in to spend time with us to explain to the American people. Much of them are on the roads or in the skies, so great to hear from you.
Thank you, Katie. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.